What's up, everyone? So, Malcolm Brogdon is the newest member of the Boston Celtics. The team is just fresh off of finals, an NBA Finals appearance, and this article is by Fairway. Also, let's just get into it. So, Eastern Conference executives on the Celtics edition of Malcolm Brogdon, and they are quoted as saying, "Unfortunately, yes, he'll be good for them. I think he's going to make them a lot better," which pisses me off. So that's an Eastern Conference executive reacting to the way the Boston Celtics were able to acquire Malcolm Brogdon in free agency. So the Boston Celtics followed up the NBA Finals run with one of the biggest free agent signings of the summer, 29-year-old point guard Malcolm Brogdon, who will bring a variety of skill to the Boston's backcourt. While the team has made some notable moves in the offseason, the addition of Malcolm Brogdon alone has the potential to make the Boston Celtics a significantly better team from last season. So here's what one rival executive had to say about that move in a chat with Heavy Steve Bulpett. An exec from the Eastern Conference club has his mood changed the conversation with Heavy Sport when Malcolm Brogdon's name was raised. The context was whether the 6'5" guard acquired from Indiana will be a serious help for the Celtics. So the executive said, he'll be good for them. Going to Boston will be strong, with strong people around him. Unfortunately, yes, he'll be good for them, but I think he's going to make them a lot better, which pisses me off. For the Celtics, he was end of quote. But for the Celtics, their success hinges on their play of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that tandem, that duo. If they play well, Boston will be in the mix. When it comes to the other guys like Marcus Smart, Derek Wright, Robert Williams, there are the key of putting the team all on the top, because that whole that squad being coached by Ime Udoka were able to sweep the they're able to sweep the Brooklyn Nets in the first round, which is actually unexpected. I never expected a sweep to come from the Brooklyn Nets side with the Celtics. Then they beat the Milwaukee Bucks in 7. Milwaukee, they were missing the services of Chris Middleton, and Milwaukee pushed it to 7 games. So lost in the second round. Then they beat the Miami Heat. So the Boston Celtics were on a revenge tour, and they made the finals somewhere they should have been in 2018, but Game 7, that's what the closest. 2020, they were this close. They got stopped with the Miami Heat. So this postseason, this past postseason, it was like a revenge tour, because the Boston Celtics lost in the 2021 postseason to the Brooklyn Nets in 5. They swept them this season. The Milwaukee Bucks stopped the Boston Celtics in their tracks in 2019 in embarrassing 5 games. Embarrassing in 5 games in the gentleman's sweep. They got their revenge this season, and the Miami Heat. The Boston Celtics got revenge on the Miami Heat from 2020, or they're now in 2022, and they punched their ticket to the NBA Finals. So in the offseason, they were pretty busy. They got Malcolm Brogdon, and I digress. Let's just continue with the article. Either way, the Celtics are even better than they were last year, thanks to Brogdon, Gallinari. They signed him in free agency, and all the experienced guys they gained in that postseason run. Well, we knew Boston had talent going into last year, but we weren't really looking at them as contenders to get the finals, said another NBA executive. I don't think anyone really was. They were not even picked as the favorites. So when you saw Milwaukee and Brooklyn and Philadelphia, although they had the Ben Simmons question with that's Philadelphia, people weren't really worried about the Celtics. But after how Boston got it together and got it to the finals, we're all looking at them now, and they got better, a lot better. They got a shooting Gallinari, and they got a guard who's going to be solid on both ends and can go a big number offensively in the right situation. And that's Malcolm Brogdon. He was the Rookie of the Year with the Milwaukee Bucks. He's actually one of the best players in the Milwaukee Bucks after Milwaukee Bucks let him go in 2019 to the Indiana Pacers, which I felt was a bad move, but it paid off because the Milwaukee Bucks won the title in 2021. And it remains to be seen if the Celtics can maintain their status as an Eastern elite team, but there's no question that they have earned the respect of teams around the league if things fall the right way, it could end up a championship for the Celtics. If not, you could say that Brad Stevens didn't do everything in his power to give the team the best chance to win. So that's the end of the article. The Boston Celtics have been active this postseason, and fresh off a finals appearance, they got better. They added Malcolm Brogdon, which was very much needed. They needed a good, solid point guard in there, a guy who has his moment. He had his moment, especially when he played for the Milwaukee Bucks. He was actually the rookie of the year, and he is a second round pick. So you can see this guy was pretty good. They've got Danilo Gallinari, a guy who can stretch the floor. He played well in those with the Atlanta Hawks. He played pretty well. So the Boston Celtics are looking scary going into this coming season with Jason Taylor and Jaylen Brown just getting better and better every season. I just can't wait because this is just going to be awesome. A team that is fresh off a finals appearance. They were this close to winning the championship, but the Golden State Warriors, led by Stephen Curry, were not going to let the Boston Celtics have that one. So they won in 6 games. So, but this is a very good thing because this is the closest the Boston Celtics were to the finals of the 2018 when Kyrie and Gordon Hayward were down. They made it to Game 7 of the East Finals, the East Finals, where they got stopped by the Cavs. 2019, they got beat by the Milwaukee Bucks in the second round. I mean, it wasn't a good look, especially losing in the semis with Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, and the whole team at the helm. 2020, they got beat in the East Finals by the Miami Heat. 2021, they got beat in the first round. And at that time, it looked so bleak, but the Celtics, they just did what they had to do this postseason. They went on their revenge tour, punched their ticket to the finals. Okay, we're not expecting them to win it all, but that was actually a pretty good achievement, especially for Ime Udoka and the whole crew. And shout out to Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown just pulling it together in that postseason because they made significant work and they're able to do the unthinkable, especially on the Celtics side. And in that, the last time during the finals was in 2010, and they lost to the Los Angeles Lakers, led by the late great Kobe Bryant. So, then making the finals after 12 years, it's something that I never saw coming because this is a team that is destined for greatness. They only know winning, and they're able to make the finals. Okay, they didn't win it, but they might have a good chance because they're gonna be picked and the favorites. And I feel like in the power rankings, they'll be at least top 5 in the power rankings, and actually number 1 in the East in power rankings. So yeah, if you guys like the video, make sure to leave feedback down in the comments. What you think about the Boston Celtics? What do you think about the acquisition of Malcolm Brogdon from the Indiana Pacers? Also the addition of Danilo Gallinari. Yet to see how that that those guys are gonna play for the Boston Celtics. And yeah, and please be sure to subscribe to the channel. This is my second channel. Please be sure to subscribe to it. And with that being said, I'm out. I'm gonna see you guys in the next upload.